Harapan for not being able to restore the status of Sabah and Sarawak as equal partners. That's number one. Number two, they keep on playing the issues of oil and gas. I've been monitoring the statement by GPS leaders, and I found that it's laughable. And I was wondering, all this while, when Barisan Nasional was in power, they didn't even complain about this, about equal partners or oil and gas rights. So now, talking about equal partners, if the spirit of equality championed by Sarawak as enshrined in the Malaysia Agreement 1963 is their focal argument, why did GPS have yet to give its support to PH government to table a motion to amend Article 1 Clause 2 of the Federal Constitution to restore the status of Sabah and Sarawak as equal partners, as defined in the Article 4 of the Malaysia Agreement 1963? I've not heard any news from GPS that they will give their full support for PH to amend Article 1 Clause 2 of the Federal Constitution in both chambers of Dewan Rakyat and Dewan Negara. When Barisan Nasional was in power, before 2008, before they lost the two-third majority, they have absolute majority in the parliament. There's super majority in the parliament, not just in Dewan Rakyat, but also in Dewan Negara, I mean the upper chamber. In order to amend the federal constitution, it requires two-third majority. It's not simple majority. If you want to table just a bill, it requires only simple majority. I believe that Hasidah, as the Assistant Minister for State Federal Relationship, something like that, and then Abdul Aziz Isa, Karim, Asfia, they are all lawyers. Even if it is Buang, I know that he doesn't like me. They are all lawyers. They should know this. This is part of their subject when they're studying the law, in public law. That in order to legislate a bill to become a law, it requires simple majority. Like we have 222 seats, so you just need 112 seats, 212 votes in Dewan Rakyat to make the bill happen, and then bring it to Dewan Negara. The Dewan Negara we have 70 seats, so you just need 36 votes, then get the royal assent. But to amend the federal constitution, you need two-third majority. They should know this. They have the power last time, and then now they blame Pakatan Harapan for not being able to amend the federal constitution. We have to remember that after GE14, yes, Pakatan Harapan, we won the federal government, but we are lack of two-third majority. We are short of two-third majority. I believe that Pakatan Harapan leaders, they're willing to table a motion to amend the federal constitution. However, until now, I have yet to heard any news from GPS leaders to support Pakatan Harapan to restore the status of Sabah and Sarawak as equal partners. Now, I urge GPS leaders, stop playing ping pong. Stop blaming Pakatan Harapan for not being able to restore status of Sabah and Sarawak as equal partners. Because even if we table the motion to amend the federal constitution, Article 1 Clause 2, but without the consent, without the support of GPS leaders, we will be unable to restore the status of Sabah and Sarawak as equal partners. So now the ball is in their hand. We willing to table, but we just wait for the GPS leaders to show their support. They should be willingly to support our motion. And they should advise their UMNO counterpart, the former brothers, big brothers, UMNO, if this motion pass through the lower chamber in Dewan Rakyat and it have to go to the upper chamber, Dewan Negara. Now the problem with Dewan Negara, we don't even have majority in Dewan Negara, Pakatan Harapan. Pakatan Harapan don't even have majority in Dewan Negara. So we need the support from GPS, from Gabungan Bersatu Sabah, and from UMNO and PAS to support the motion, so that we will be able to eventually see the status of Sabah and Sarawak restore as how it is supposed to be. Now, number 2, oil and gas. We all should know the historical facts that it was the then BN leaders who signed the Petroleum Agreement 1974 and passed the Petroleum Development Act, PDA,